Hi friends, we are live. This is the second time I have gone live, so hopefully all goes well. I am outside, so if you hear lots of cars going by or planes or whatever, maybe or animals chirping or birds singing, all the things. So we are live, but I wanted to hop on because I typically do a video ahead of time, all the things, but I wanted to talk about some recent things that I have been loving lately and also some really interesting information because you may remember a couple months ago I did a video talking about property taxes, eliminating property taxes, and so many of you loved that, shared that, all the things. And then I also did a video probably back in October with Carla Wagner, the founder of Axman Tax in Michigan, and she talked a little bit about property taxes, where she is and how she's working towards abolishing property taxes in the state of Michigan. And I recently spoke with her. We're supposed to join again to have a good conversation because election in November is over, and she's going to give me a recap on some things, as well as Dr. Rick. He is over in North Dakota, and so we're having some conversation about that. So I can't wait to share more. But in the meantime, I wanted to share with you one of my favorite websites at this point, or actually social media accounts, X accounts actually, and it is D.O.G.E, Department of Government Efficiency, D.O.G.E, which is Elon Musk and Vivek's organization that they are putting together to shine a light on all of the spending that our federal government does. Because I spoke about eliminating property taxes, and there were some people like, well, what's going to happen if we eliminate property taxes? We won't be able to pay for our schools. We won't be able to pay for our roads. We won't be able to pay for police officers and fire departments and all the things. And I wanted to show you just the amount of money that our federal government spends. I'm not even talking about the local level or state level or anything of that sort. And I want you to think about how much money that our government spends and wastes on the money that we give towards them, and then kind of narrow that down to state spending as well, and then local spending like county spending and everything. We'll do a video on that soon, but I wanted to show you the comparison of how much money is just going out there and how much money we could be saving, and that the whole country could be property tax free with the amount of money that they accumulate and waste on a bunch of nonsense. So, like I was saying, this is my new favorite account, and I'm going to share with you some spending. So, the NIH in 2023, they spent $759 million on workforce diversity and outreach. That is a ton of money. All right, here's another one. $203 on evaluating microaggressions against Latinx. New word there. We're just going to call it Latin individuals with obesity. So we spent over $500,000. Interesting. Some more money being spent. $87,000, almost $88,000 on the role of the estrous cycle in nucleus accumbens, signaling on incubation, and it goes on and on and on. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds like that is a lot of money that they are spending. And then also there were, on incubation of oxycodone craving in female rats. Okay, I have no words. $88,000 on the role of estrous cycle in nucleus accumbens, signaling on incubation of oxycodone craving in female rats. So we're spending money on that. Interesting. I could actually give you a good synopsis of how that would turn out. All right, here's some more spending that we have been doing. Actually, our government has been wasting, I should say. All right, so in 2023 alone, illegal immigration, the cost of taxpayers was $150 billion, $150.7 billion, okay, that we spent, the taxpayers spent. And it's crazy because I know lots of people that have to have government assistance and they can't pay for anything on their own. They have to work multiple jobs. I was actually out and about yesterday working. I travel a lot for work, and I was actually in a different city working with some people. And the lady was just complaining how tired and just worn out she was. She says, I'm just so tired. I work 2 jobs. And it's not like she's making peanuts, so she has to work two jobs in order to make ends meet. And she has a husband and children, and I know her husband works. So it's crazy that we're spending $150.7 billion of American taxpayers on illegal immigration, where we have people here in America that are having a difficult time. All right, let's put this in context. All right, so this goes way, 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 way back, okay? Um, it gives a comparison of how much we spent on World War I, and that was $334 billion. So our government likes to spend a lot of money in war because they profit from that, which shows you where their heart is. They're all about unliving lives. They don't care about people's lives. They don't care about people that are living and giving them the money, but they care about unliving people's lives and pillaging and taking people's things. I'm going to go on some more. Oh, this is some more interesting money that the NIH has spent. $1.8 billion on studying racism, which includes $125,000 in examining anti-race healing in nature. $151,000 perceived racism, cardiovascular disease risk, and neurocognitive aging. And that all goes together with racism. Are they trying to draw a parallel? The older you get, the more racist you get? I don't know what that means. And does it give you heart disease when you're racist? I'm not sure. It does give you heart disease because that shows a lot of hate if you hate people for the exterior of their skin. But I don't think we need to have a study about that and spend $150K on that. I could just tell you that and save you some money. All right, and then we spent over $500 million on the effects of racism on the brain, and there was a little bit more on the brain and pathways to health disparities. So very interesting how much money that is spent. So I'm not going to read any further. There's a lot of interesting things here, but I just wanted to hop on and share that with you. That is one of my new favorite accounts. If you're not following D.O.G.E on X, you definitely should. It's very interesting. The amount of money that we spend and some things that we spend money on is just flabbergasting, just so crazy. So in other news, I wanted to talk about some of the picks, the nominees that President-elect Trump has picked, which is the FBI director, Kash Patel. There has been a lot of uproar about him. Typically when the other side likes to make comments about, you know, who President Trump has picked, typically that's a good sign. Not all the time, but typically it's a good sign. I've actually questioned some of his picks. We'll talk about that later. But Kash Patel, I looked at his record. I mean, straight as an arrow, very pro doing the right thing. So I think he's going to be pretty awesome. He's been very loyal, and that's who he needs. And one of the things I'm going to say, you may not agree with me, but some of you may understand what I'm saying. The first time around, I think that President-elect Trump was very naive. He was very naive about the position. He thought he was just going to slide into the presidency. Everybody was going to be friendly and work with him. And he didn't drain the swamp or clean things out like he said he was going to do, or as much as he thought he would. So I think that's why the first time, even though it was good, it was not as good as I hope it is this time, which I have more thoughts about that. But anyway, I think that him losing the second time in 2020 actually helped him this time around. And listen, hear me out, because all the people that he is placed, you know, nominating to replace these other people are way better. I mean, just so much better. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK, I am so excited about him. And that's probably who they're most afraid of, is because he knows his stuff. I mean, he's sued people for different things that they have done, like in the pharmaceutical world. He's very much pro health and making sure we take care of our little people, and then just health in general. So I'm extremely excited about RFK Jr., extremely excited about him, and Kash Patel. Like I said, Tulsi Gabbard, another one that I'm extremely excited about. Pete Hegseth, you know, there's some things with that they're just going crazy about, but I think he's good for that role. Too bad Matt Gaetz dropped out. I think he would have been awesome in that role, but he dropped out. I'm hearing rumblings that he may run for governor here in Florida, which I didn't want to think about the governor race because it's just like so much with this whole presidential election. Things are just so crazy. We're just trying to get through the nominations. So I didn't even want to think about that part because Governor DeSantis has been absolutely amazing. I mean, through the years that he has served, he's been just the best governor ever that I can remember. So, yes. So, there's just so many great nominees that President Trump has picked this time around that I'm very, very much excited about. Some of them, like I said, I'm questioning them. We'll dive deeper into them, but we'll see how the nomination and then them getting voted in and all the things and accepting their nomination, we'll see how that goes, because that's a whole nother thing to even talk about. So that is one thing that I wanted to talk about as well. I'll hop on here and just chat just a little bit because it's been a little while. So, and then another thing that I wanted to talk about, which you guys have probably followed with the Daniel Penny case in New York City that has been going on for a little while, how he was acquitted and was just shown not guilty. And there has been quite an uproar about that. And you know what? I'm actually going to say that. I'm going to say that for a different time, because that's a whole nother dialogue that we can actually talk about, because it's actually over with. But I wanted to bring up BLM. I did a video. Make sure you look at that video. It is all about how Edward Bernays would be very proud of the propaganda terminologies that we have been preached about and trying to indoctrinate our minds. And I named a bunch of different ones. So definitely check out that video. And there's another one that I'm planning on adding, and that is BLM, Black Lives Matter. It sounds like it's just such a great terminology. It just sounds like, oh, Black Lives Matter. That sounds so amazing. That sounds right. You know, Black Lives Matter. It sounds so benevolent, when actually it's the total opposite, and they could care less about Black lives. So add that to the list in that video that I had posted before. So, like I had mentioned before, thank you so much for being here. Be sure to subscribe. Let me know if you like these live videos. I'll just hop on occasionally and just talk about some recent things. And then if there's any other propaganda terminologies that I missed from the last video, make sure you leave a comment there, because I'm pretty sure I missed so many. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all the things, and see you in the next video. Thanks for joining live.